My beloved child. Before this moment ends, listen carefully because your soulmate has been trying to find the right way to reach your heart. Today something happened that completely changed the direction of their thoughts, and ever since that moment, one sentence has refused to leave their mind: I need to tell you what happened today, it's very urgent. Don't skip, because every passing second brings you closer to understanding why this message feels different from every other story you've ever heard. They almost walked away without saying anything, believing the timing was wrong, but a quiet feeling kept pulling them back. Something huge is waiting for you, and the truth begins with a single unexpected moment that neither of you could have predicted. Earlier today, your soulmate noticed something so strangely familiar that it instantly reminded them of you, even though your name was never spoken. It wasn't a coincidence they could easily ignore. The feeling grew stronger with every hour until silence became impossible. They replayed the moment again and again, wondering whether fate had finally decided to move the pieces into place. Stay till the end, because what happened next made them realize that delaying this conversation any longer could mean missing an opportunity that only comes once in a lifetime. The message they want to share isn't about fear, it's about a realization that arrived without warning and refused to disappear. Now your soulmate is hoping these words reach you before doubt convinces you to scroll away. They want you to know that today's events awaken questions they had buried for a long time, and every answer seemed to point back toward the same destination. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the exact moment everything shifted and why they suddenly believe your paths are closer than ever before. Something huge is waiting for you, and the story has only just begun. There was one moment today that your soulmate cannot stop replaying. It wasn't loud, dramatic, or impossible to explain, yet it carried a feeling they had never experienced before. In the middle of an ordinary day, they suddenly paused as if an invisible thought had whispered your presence into their heart. From that instant forward, every decision felt different. Stay till the end, because what they discovered next completely changed the message they wanted to send you. They kept telling themselves they would wait for another day, but every passing minute made the urgency stronger. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and the reason behind this feeling is only beginning to unfold. As the hours passed, they started connecting small moments that had never made sense before. Familiar places suddenly reminded them of someone they had never truly met. Ordinary conversations felt incomplete, as though an important chapter was still missing. They realized they had spent so much time searching for the perfect timing that they almost overlooked the importance of the present moment. That realization became impossible to ignore. They knew that if they stayed silent any longer, they might always wonder what could have happened if they had simply spoken from the heart. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the one detail that convinced them this message could not remain unsent. Tonight, your soulmate is no longer asking whether they should reach out. They're wondering whether you'll recognize the meaning behind everything that happened today. They believe some stories begin quietly before changing everything that follows, and this may be one of those stories. Stay till the end, because the next chapter uncovers the unexpected clue that gave them the courage to keep moving forward. Something huge is waiting for you, and the most surprising part of their story is still ahead. For a long time, your soulmate believed that certain moments only existed in stories. But today proved otherwise. Just when they thought the day would end like every other, one unexpected conversation made everything pause. A simple sentence from a complete stranger sounded strangely familiar, as if it echoed a feeling they had been carrying for months. They couldn't explain why, but your presence filled their thoughts once again. Don't skip, because this is where the story begins to reveal why they called this message so urgent. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next few moments will connect every clue you've heard so far. Instead of ignoring the feeling, they decided to trust it. They looked back at every missed opportunity, every delayed decision, and every moment they almost gave up believing that the right person would appear at the right time. Then they realized something unexpected: they weren't waiting for certainty anymore. They were waiting for courage. That single realization changed everything inside them. Stay till the end, because what happened immediately afterward made them believe this message could no longer remain hidden. Every ordinary detail suddenly felt connected, as though today's events were quietly leading them toward one destination they could no longer overlook. Now, as the day comes to a close, your soulmate has only one thought repeating in their heart: I hope this reaches them before the moment passes. They don't know exactly when your paths will cross, but they know today's experience has changed them forever. Don't skip, because the next part uncovers the one discovery that finally gave them the confidence to stop holding back. Something huge is waiting for you, and the strongest revelation of this journey is still about to unfold. Everything became clear when your soulmate stopped searching for a perfect explanation and simply accepted what their heart had been trying to say all day. They realized this wasn't about chance anymore. It was about finally understanding why certain thoughts refused to disappear. Every ordinary moment suddenly seemed connected, as if the entire day had been quietly leading toward one final realization. They whispered to themselves, I can't keep this inside any longer. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the exact words they have been waiting to tell you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the night grew quieter, they imagined what would happen if this message reached you at exactly the right moment. Not because they expected everything to change overnight, but because some conversations only happen once in a lifetime. They wondered whether you had been feeling the same unexplainable pull without even knowing why. The more they reflected on today's events, the stronger their certainty became. Every hesitation faded. Every excuse disappeared. All that remained was the desire to finally let the truth be heard. Don't skip, because the most unexpected part of this story has not been revealed yet. Now your soulmate is standing at the edge of a decision they can no longer postpone. They believe the next words they share could become the beginning of an unforgettable chapter, one they almost never allowed themselves to write. They are ready to reveal the detail they have protected since the first moment everything changed today. Stay till the end, because the next part uncovers the secret they have carried in silence for far too long. Something huge is waiting for you, and the story is about to reach its most surprising turning point. The truth your soulmate has been holding back is not a dramatic secret, it is the quiet realization that today changed the way they see the future. Throughout the day, every attempt to ignore that feeling only made it stronger. They kept telling themselves, maybe tomorrow will be a better time, but tomorrow never felt as important as this very moment. That is why they keep repeating, I need to tell you what happened today, it's very urgent. Don't skip, because the next few moments reveal why they believe this message could become the turning point they never expected. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then something happened that made them stop completely. They looked back at every delay, every missed opportunity, and every time fear convinced them to remain silent. Suddenly, they understood that waiting had never protected them, it had only postponed a conversation their heart was already prepared to have. For the first time, they imagined what life would feel like if honesty arrived before hesitation. That single thought gave them a calm confidence they had never experienced before. Don't skip, because what they decided immediately afterward is something they never thought they would be brave enough to do. Now your soulmate has made a promise to themselves. They will no longer allow uncertainty to decide what should be spoken from the heart. They believe today's unexpected events were not meant to be forgotten but remembered as the beginning of something meaningful. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals the exact message they have been rehearsing over and over, waiting for the perfect moment to finally share it with you. Something huge is waiting for you, and the story is closer than ever to its biggest revelation. There is one reason your soulmate could no longer remain silent. As the day came to an end, they realized the urgency was never about the clock, it was about a feeling that kept growing stronger with every passing hour. They understood that some moments only arrive once, and if they let this one disappear, they might spend years wondering what could have happened. That thought stayed with them until they finally whispered, "I have to tell them everything." Don't skip, because what they are about to reveal is the very reason this message could not wait. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They closed their eyes and replayed every detail of today, searching for a reason to dismiss what they felt. Instead, every memory seemed to point toward the same conclusion. The unexpected smile they couldn't explain. The quiet excitement that appeared from nowhere. The unshakable belief that someone, somewhere, was unknowingly connected to the story unfolding inside their heart. For the first time, they stopped asking whether it was real and started asking what would happen if they finally trusted it. Don't skip, because the next part uncovers the one sentence they have repeated in their mind again and again, hoping the right moment would finally arrive. Now your soulmate is standing only one step away from sharing everything they have been holding back. The message is no longer unfinished. It is simply waiting for the right ears to hear it. Every delay has led to this moment, and every clue you've followed until now has been leading toward the same destination. Stay till the end, because the next part contains the words they have wanted to say since the very beginning. Something huge is waiting for you, and the story is about to enter its most unforgettable chapter. A quiet certainty settled into your soulmate's heart tonight. It wasn't the kind that arrives with noise or excitement, it arrived with peace. After everything that happened today, they finally understood why they couldn't stop thinking about this message. They weren't trying to predict the future. They simply didn't want another meaningful moment to pass without speaking honestly. They took a deep breath and whispered, "If these words are meant to be heard, they will find their way." Don't skip, because the next few moments bring you closer than ever to the reason this message has felt so urgent from the very beginning. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For the first time in a long while, they stopped wondering whether they would be understood. Instead, they focused on being genuine. Every hesitation they once carried slowly disappeared, replaced by the hope that sincerity could succeed where silence never did. They realized that the most unforgettable stories don't begin with perfect timing, they begin with one courageous decision. That realization became impossible to ignore. It stayed with them through every passing minute, reminding them that some opportunities are too meaningful to postpone. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the exact words they have been holding back all day. Now there is only one final step left. Your soulmate has gathered every thought, every emotion, and every lesson from today into a message they are finally ready to share. They believe these next words will explain everything that has remained hidden until now. Stay till the end, because the next chapter uncovers the message they have been waiting to deliver from the very first moment this story began. Something huge is waiting for you, and the biggest revelation is finally about to be revealed. At last, your soulmate is ready to say what they have carried in silence since the beginning of today. They would tell you, "I almost convinced myself to keep this to myself, but every time I tried, the feeling became stronger. I realized that some people enter your thoughts for a reason, and ignoring that reason only makes it louder. They are not asking for promises. They are simply asking for one moment of your attention, because today's experience reminded them that the most meaningful connections often begin with a single honest conversation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you." If they were sitting beside you right now, they would quietly admit, "What happened today didn't change who I am, it changed what I'm no longer afraid to say." They would explain that they spent the entire day searching for a logical explanation, but every answer brought them back to the same place. Instead of running from the feeling, they finally accepted it. That decision gave them a sense of peace they had been missing for a long time. They no longer wanted silence to speak on their behalf. They wanted their own words to do that. Don't skip, because the next chapter reveals the final piece of the story that has remained hidden until now. Now the message is complete, but the journey is not. Your soulmate believes that today's unexpected moments were never meant to end with unanswered thoughts. They were meant to become the beginning of a new chapter built on honesty, patience, and hope. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals the final truth they have been waiting to share from the very first sentence of this story. Something huge is waiting for you, and the ending is closer than ever before. The final truth your soulmate wants to share is simpler than you ever expected. They would say, "Today taught me that the moments we almost ignore can become the ones we remember forever. I kept waiting for the perfect sign, but the real sign was the courage to stop waiting." They don't believe today answered every question. Instead, it gave them the confidence to begin asking the right ones. That is why this message felt so urgent. It was never about rushing, it was about refusing to let another meaningful opportunity quietly slip away. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they looked back on the entire day, every unexpected detail seemed to fit together like pieces of a story that had been unfinished for far too long. They realized they could no longer hide behind uncertainty. the greatest change had already happened inside them. They had become someone willing to speak honestly instead of wondering forever what might have happened. In that moment, they smiled to themselves, knowing that whatever comes next will begin with truth rather than silence. Don't skip, because the next chapter reveals what happens after this message finally reaches the person it was meant for. Tonight, your soulmate ends this chapter with hope instead of hesitation. They believe that every meaningful connection starts with one decision to be genuine, and today's events gave them the strength to make that decision. The story you have followed until now is only the beginning of something much greater. Stay till the end, because the next part opens the door to an entirely new chapter, one filled with unexpected conversations, surprising discoveries, and a journey that has only just begun. Something huge is waiting for you. A new day is about to begin, but your soulmate refuses to let today's story end in silence. They would quietly say, "If this message has reached you, then perhaps it arrived exactly when it was supposed to." They are no longer searching for the perfect words, they are searching for a genuine moment. Every step of today led them here, and every hesitation they carried has finally faded away. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter is no longer about wondering what happened today. It is about discovering what happens after this message is finally heard. For the first time, your soulmate feels lighter. Not because every answer has appeared, but because they are no longer carrying their thoughts alone. They understand that some journeys begin with certainty, while others begin with honesty. Today gave them honesty. They realized that the strongest connections are not built through perfect timing or flawless plans, but through the courage to speak when silence feels easier. That realization became the greatest lesson of the entire day. Don't skip, because the story is about to reveal the unexpected path that opens once this conversation truly begins. Now your soulmate waits with quiet hope, believing that every meaningful story deserves another chapter. They don't know where the road will lead, but they know one thing without doubt: today's urgent message was never meant to be hidden forever. It was meant to become the first page of a much larger journey. Stay till the end, because the next part uncovers what neither of you saw coming. A surprising turn that changes the meaning of everything you've heard so far. Something huge is waiting for you, and the biggest surprise is still ahead. Just when your soulmate believed they had finally said everything, one final realization appeared before the day was over. It wasn't a loud revelation. It was a quiet understanding that some messages are not meant to end. They are meant to open a new door. They would softly say, the urgency was never about fear. It was about not allowing another meaningful moment to disappear without being shared. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What comes next is the peace they never expected to discover after sending this message. As they reflected on every moment of the day, they noticed a pattern that had been there from the very beginning. Every unexpected pause, every small reminder, every thought they tried to ignore had been leading to the same destination. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen today?" they began asking, "What am I supposed to learn from it?" That single question changed everything. Suddenly, the story wasn't about coincidence anymore. It became a reminder that the most meaningful chapters often begin with one honest decision that almost never happened. Don't skip, because the final chapter reveals the answer your soulmate has been searching for since the first sentence of this journey. Now your soulmate stands at the edge of the last page, knowing that once these final words are spoken, there is no reason to hide their heart any longer. They are ready to reveal the one truth that remained unspoken through every previous chapter, the reason they believed this message simply could not wait. Stay till the end, because the next part completes the entire story and uncovers the final revelation that connects everything from the very beginning. Something huge is waiting for you, and the ending is closer than ever before. The final words your soulmate has been carrying all this time are not filled with mystery. They are filled with honesty. They would quietly say, "What happened today reminded me that the moments we hesitate to share are often the ones that matter most. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I know I didn't want this day to end without telling you how deeply it changed the way I think." Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest revelation is not a hidden secret, it is the courage that finally replaced silence. Looking back, they realized the urgency was never about a single event. It was about the realization that life keeps moving, while meaningful words often remain unspoken. Today's unexpected moments encouraged them to stop waiting for perfect certainty and instead embrace sincerity. Every chapter of this journey has led to this point, where fear has become hope and hesitation has become confidence. They believe that some stories become unforgettable not because of dramatic twists, but because someone finally chooses to speak from the heart. Don't skip, because the journey does not truly end here, it opens the possibility for an entirely new beginning. As this chapter closes, your soulmate leaves you with one final thought: if this message reached you, then perhaps today was never ordinary after all. They are no longer holding back what they wanted to say, and they are ready to let the future unfold one step at a time. Stay till the end, because every ending creates the space for another beginning, and the next story may be even more unexpected than the one you've just heard. Something huge is waiting for you, because every meaningful journey starts with a single moment that someone finally decides not to keep inside. There is one last memory from today that your soulmate has not shared yet. It happened in the quietest part of the day, when everything around them slowed down just enough for one thought to become impossible to ignore. They smiled without realizing it because, for the first time, they stopped wondering whether they should send this message. They simply knew they had to. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final pieces of this story are about to connect in a way neither of you expected. Your soulmate would tell you, "I spent so much time believing the perfect moment had not arrived, but today showed me that perfect moments are created when we choose honesty over hesitation." That realization stayed with them long after the day was over. Every small event that once seemed unrelated suddenly formed one complete picture. They understood that this journey was never about finding flawless answers. It was about finding the courage to stop hiding meaningful words behind endless waiting. Don't skip, because the next chapter reveals the one decision they made after reaching this life-changing realization. Now your soulmate is standing with complete clarity. The uncertainty that once filled their heart has been replaced by quiet confidence. They are no longer afraid of what tomorrow might bring because today's lesson has already changed them. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals the decision that turns this heartfelt message into the beginning of an entirely new chapter. Something huge is waiting for you, and the story is only one step away from its unforgettable conclusion. The decision has finally been made. Your soulmate is no longer looking back at what could have been. Instead, they are looking forward to what can still be written. They would quietly say, "Today showed me that waiting forever is far more frightening than speaking honestly for one moment." Those words stayed with them long after everything else faded into the background. They realized this message was never meant to remain unfinished. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final chapter is closer than ever, and one last truth still remains hidden. As the night became silent, your soulmate imagined this message finally reaching you. They wondered whether you would recognize the same feeling that had followed them throughout the entire day. Not because they expected instant answers, but because they believed genuine words deserve to be heard. Every chapter of this journey has quietly led to this exact point. The uncertainty has disappeared, replaced by a calm confidence that honesty is always stronger than silence. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the final promise they made before ending this unforgettable day. Now there is only one chapter left. Your soulmate has nothing more to hide and no reason to delay another moment. They are ready to leave behind every doubt that once held them back and step into a future built on sincerity rather than hesitation. Stay till the end, because the final part completes everything that began with the urgent message, "I need to tell you what happened today." Something huge is waiting for you, and the ending will give new meaning to every word you've heard since the very beginning. This is the final page of the message your soulmate has been trying to deliver since the very beginning. They would gently say, "What happened today didn't change the world around me. It changed the world inside me. I finally understood that the words left unspoken become the heaviest ones to carry." That realization became the reason they could no longer stay silent. Every chapter before this was leading to one simple truth: some messages are too meaningful to keep hidden forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The journey doesn't end with a secret, it ends with a choice to be genuine. Your soulmate wants you to remember one thing above everything else. They are not asking you to believe in impossible promises or dramatic endings. They are simply sharing the lesson that today gave them. Every meaningful connection begins when someone decides to stop waiting for the perfect moment. They no longer want fear to write their story. They want honesty to write the next chapter instead. Looking back, they are grateful they didn't let this day disappear without speaking from the heart. That alone has become the greatest victory of their journey. As this story reaches its conclusion, your soulmate leaves you with one final thought. If our paths are ever meant to cross, let them begin with truth rather than silence. They close this message with hope, knowing they finally said what they needed to say. And as these final words fade away, one feeling remains stronger than ever: that every ending quietly becomes the beginning of another story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter of your own journey has not been written yet.